We're doing some jogging. It's gonna be very short, 20-minute jog, nothing crazy. But I know in like a previous video where I was talking about how I do my cardio sessions, or no, in a previous video where I was doing a cardio session, I was gonna explain the training style that I do, because I'm sure if you've been on the journey of trying to lose fat, you may have tried cardio and jogging before, not seen the results that you want from it. And it's like, I thought running and doing cardio and sweating and getting out of breath helped me lose weight, and I'm not losing weight. And there's a couple factors as to why that may be. Main one is calories. You just found yourself eating more calories than what you were burning off. So there's that. But assuming you are staying in a calorie deficit and the cardio just ain't working right, one of the main reasons why it might not be working right is because you're training, or it's because you're not training for endurance. So when you're doing cardio specifically for burning fat, you can't go into it with the mindset of, I'm gonna just go ham for like 20 minutes and be exhausted and sweaty and totally out of breath by the end of it. That's not the proper approach. Sorry, I feel like this thing is wobbly. That's not the proper approach. You gotta go into it thinking, I'm gonna do the same activity for an extended period of time. Endurance training. Literally, when I figured that out, it was because I had downloaded a workout plan. Hey, good morning, what's going on, you guys? Yeah, so when I figured out kind of like the secret of being able to burn fat through cardio, it was because, well, I've got two stories. One was when I was studying abroad, climbing the mountains of Machu Picchu. And I'm not kidding there, actually, I do have a story of that. But, so that was one thing. But then the second thing was, I downloaded a workout routine that was designed to train you to run a marathon. Jogging now, oh yeah, we jogging this morning. But the reason why I downloaded this routine for training to run a marathon is because at that point, that season of life I was in, I needed to do sustained activity for a long period of time. I was working 12-hour night shifts at Amazon. I was doing that for months. And I knew going into it, I was like, I gotta train my body and my mind to endure. So, downloaded a workout routine to train for running a marathon. And I was like melting fat off my body. Good talk, keep the running, boy. Oh yeah, you already know. Yeah, I'm from the US. But I was fascinated by this. I was like, I've never lost so much body fat from doing cardio before. Like, what is happening? And then I remembered back to that time, I learned this secret of how your body processes energy when I was climbing the mountains of Machu Picchu. But yeah, so I was studying abroad in Peru. We were learning about the effects of altitude sickness on the human body, and some of us got to experience it firsthand. But we're studying altitude sickness, and basically what that means, the higher up you go, literally like climbing a mountain or just traveling to a place with higher elevation, the less oxygen there is in the air. And it's kind of hard to like visualize because you can't see oxygen. You just feel wind and it's like, isn't that oxygen? But you could think of it like having an electrolyte packet. The electrolytes, it's like oxygen. You put it in a water bottle, you drink it, yummy. A lot of electrolytes, not a lot of water. So again, electrolytes, it's like the oxygen. And then you take that same packet and you put it in a gallon of water. A lot more water, a lot less electrolyte powder per sip. And that's what happens when you go higher up in altitude. So when you're moving your body, it needs a certain amount of oxygen to function because it uses the oxygen as energy. And it's kind of like, well, don't you use food as energy? Yes, but the body is able to get so much more energy from oxygen. That's why, people can go a week without drinking water. And I mean, the time frames here are a little arbitrary, but you can go a week without water before you die. You can go 30 days without food before you die. Try going 30 minutes without breathing. You can't. Shoot, I feel like I can barely go 3 minutes without breathing. You would die. So when we're climbing the mountains, Machu Picchu, there's such little amounts of oxygen in the air, we had to pace ourselves. And there was moments where I could feel in my body, I had more energy to push harder. But that's kind of like having a car that has gas, and then a car that has gas and the ability to use like that nitrous oxide stuff. So the energy in my muscles is like the nitrous oxide. But if you use that, you're gonna use up way more gasoline. And the gasoline would be like the oxygen. So it's like, in like one instance, I felt super out of shape. But then in another instance, I'm like, I have the energy to push harder. But if I did, I'd be in the negative for oxygen. So where am I getting at with all of this? So when you're doing your cardio, you don't want to go to that point of pushing so hard that you go negative with the oxygen. The moment you do that, body starts tapping into that nitrous oxide, the energy in the muscles. And then it's kind of like, all right, well, Alec, I'm trying to burn fat, not trying to burn oxygen. And that's the thing. The oxygen is assisting in the process of burning fat. So when you're moving at a steady pace where you are not out of breath, the primary fuel source is going to be fat. Isn't that crazy? So when you're out of breath, just think like, oh, I'm out of breath, crap. That means my body's not using fat as much. It's using all these other areas of energy that's stored in the muscles. And as a little side note here, if you've been enjoying the rant so far, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I'm out here just trying to help y'all get in the best shape possible. We got summer coming. We gotta be beach body ready. I think beach body is a trademark term, so we gotta be sexy for the beach. But yeah, show that support, hit that subscribe button. But yeah, so when you're moving for cardio, quote unquote, you gotta think endurance. Those marathon runners going 6 hours jogging. Fat body ready, that's funny. But the marathon runners, they're not getting out of breath in the first 20 minutes, first 30 minutes, first hour, second hour. No, they can't. If they do, they're done. They won't be able to continue the race. So when I was doing my training for the marathon, that's why the fat was just melting off. It's because my body was primarily tapping in to fat for fuel. Another good example of not being out of breath. What have I been doing for the past 11 minutes? Farting, exactly. No, I've been talking the whole time. Sure, I gotta like maybe pause for a second, breathe. But that's a great sign of knowing whether or not you're pushing yourself too hard with the endurance training. Can't hold a conversation. You don't want to be like, yeah. So what you do not want to be like is this, where it's like, so the other day, I was climbing up Machu Picchu, and sorry, give me a sec. Nah, nope, can't do it that way. I mean, slow down, homie. But you know, it's kind of like a fine line, because I've told people that, and they're like, well, Alec, I've been doing that, and it's not working. I'm like, all right, let's go on a jog. And they're just not going ham enough. Like, you still gotta push yourself to a certain point. You still gotta break a sweat. But you can't be like, you gotta get yourself to that point where if you were to push slightly harder, then it's like, okay, I'd be out of breath at that point. Because if you stay below that threshold, like, you're using energy, sure, you're using fat for fuel, but you could be using more, you know? Another thing to look out for is you don't want to start fast and then start to slow down, or start very slow, kind of speed up, and then start to slow down a little bit. If you feel yourself getting out of breath. Now, what you gotta do, you gotta make sure whatever pace you're jogging at, you stay at that pace. Fluctuating, going faster and slower, it's not optimal. It's much easier to monitor that when you're on a treadmill, because you know, you can just like set it to like 5, and then you know for a fact if you don't change it, that floor ain't going faster or slower. Whew. But yeah, it's kind of some of the tips I got there for really maximizing the fat burn when it comes to doing your cardio, you know, your endurance training. And I guess last bit of advice, endurance is doing a sustained activity for a long period of time. So you got to get better at doing it for a longer period of time. Might be 10 minutes in the beginning, then you get to 30 minutes, 35. But train yourself to get to that point of doing the same pace for like an hour. You do that once a week, of that hour-long jog of steady state cardio. Oh man, that's like next day difference in results. But it's tough though, like you gotta really condition your body for that one. Can't just jump right into it. Kind of look like Superman. I gotta start wearing an S on my chest. Now I gotta get like a big A. Yeah, I was thinking of calling the community here the A team. But I might have to look into like whole trademark rights for that, because we have well, I think the TV show is just called the A Team, so that might be a little tough to do. But I still like the idea of the A Team. Community of awesome badasses dominating the day, getting in shape, looking like Marvel superheroes with better screenwriters. Yeah, I've not been a fan of the what's it called, like the plots in the most recent Marvel movies. Newest Guardians of the Galaxy, sublime. But yeah, besides that, pushing woke agenda, it's like Disney. How about you wake up? This approach ain't working. The writers, like, come on, you gotta write some good plots, some good character development. My goodness. Having a story where the main character is a badass because of their gender or because of their sexual orientation? Come on. Lazy writing. You know who's a badass female? Sigourney Weaver. It's because she's a female? No. She's a badass who is a female. You know who's a badass man? John Wick. Is he a badass because he's a guy? No, he's just a badass. And he's a guy. I don't care about the sexual orientation of either of those people. That's not who they are. Anyway, that's my side rant right there. We need better plots going on. Better character development. But what's up, mate? How you doing? Let's see, so got about 3 minutes left. Keeping this one pretty short. It's because I want to shower afterwards. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, right arm getting a little tired. Yeah, it's interesting. Past like 4 or 5 days. You're a great man. Oh, you're great. All y'all on here are great. Always love having y'all part of the chat. We got a very encouraging community here. In fact, last I checked, almost at 1.5 thousand subs. So just want to say, like, let's break past that in this live stream here, because almost done the jog. Got like 1 minute, 2 minutes left of jogging. Let's see how far past 1.5 we can get. Because yeah, last I checked, it was like 1.49. Look very hot. Oh, it is. Yeah, it's hot outside. No, it's not hot outside. It's kind of cold. My hands are freezing. But yeah, what are we looking at sub-wise right now? We at 1.5 yet? Even if we get to 1.5, we gotta push past that. time to time, people unsubscribe or accounts get deleted and whatnot. So if we're just at 1.5, I guarantee tomorrow it'll be at 1.499, something like that. Who's gonna carry the boats? How's David Goggins jogs? He kind of jogs a bit like this. Yeah. You gotta face it in a bitch. He's actually got a good point there when it comes to that inner dialogue. You gotta really acknowledge it as like a second being. And I know for me, that inner voice in the morning has been kicking my ass, because I'll be waking up and that bed is so comfortable. And this morning, woke up an hour late, like damn it. But now I'm planning to sleep in tomorrow. Height 6'1". Weight, this morning I checked, it was like 180 pounds. But yeah, it's like inner voicing. It's not you. You gotta acknowledge it as being something kind of like outside of yourself. Because I don't know about you, but whenever I get the idea of doing a new healthy habit, it's like, yeah, that sounds logical. I want to do that. I'm deciding right now to do that thing. And then when it's time to do the thing, there's this other voice that's like, I mean, do you really? Are you sure you want to do that today? Can't you just do it later? It's trying to convince you to undo the decision you already made. That's not you. You is the one that said, hey, this thing I saw, I like how that sounds. I want to do that. I'm going to do it later today or tomorrow. You know, the language of it is so different. And then when that voice, that weakness is trying to convince you not to do it, it's like, hey, you know, have you thought about maybe waiting till later? It's like, it's different, you know? So, whew, nice. All right. 2.06 miles there. But you know, like David Goggins is onto something with that one. But yeah, that's the jog right there. So I'm gonna be ending the live stream here. You gotta help. I need some help with getting past 1.5 thousand subs. Gotta make sure to help me with that. Oh, what's going on, Bobby? Name a car for an edit. Isn't it Audi G8? Is that a thing? G6? I'm trying to think. Priyanshu, what's going on? Gym Freak here. 1:33 p.m. for you. Nice. It's 7:38 a.m. here. But yeah, that's the workout right there. Whew. I want to invite y'all to hit that subscribe button. We out here having fun, getting in shape, and would love to have you all here on the journey. Hair looks nice. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I've been using shampoo, conditioner, tea tree oil. Been working pretty nicely. Plus, it's just getting longer, so it tends to look a little better when it's longer. But yeah, make sure to like, yeah, you gotta like, you gotta hit subscribe as well. But Frank the Animator, what's going on, bro? Yeah, doing live streams of the workouts. I got content on my channel, sharing all the things that I do that work, all the things I tell my clients to do that works. And I think that's cool. Couple of y'all on here that are subscribed. I get messages from time to time saying, yo, Alec, it's crazy. I actually did the things you say in your videos and I'm getting results. And it's like, I know, that's why I say to do these things. Potato Mafia, oh, I appreciate that. Animation requests. Oh, it'd be cool to see, like, you know, the video game Doom 2016, doing like some type of like fight animation similar to that, like the glory kills that they do. What do you do, lazy clients? I mean, when they start paying, they start paying attention. But for the most part, it's just bouts, like little spurts of motivation that they get. And then once the motivation's gone, then they kind of stop doing the thing. And because they stopped, then they delay getting started again. So I just encourage, like, it's not about staying motivated or staying 100% consistent. You just got to reduce the time it takes to just get back to doing the thing. Because I had a situation, 2 clients started at the same time. They both messed up on like a Friday because it was like a holiday, so everyone was celebrating a thing. One of them was like, oh man, I ate too much on Friday. I'm feeling kind of crappy now that it's Saturday. I may as well just take Saturday off as well. Then because they took Saturday off, they're like, may as well do the whole weekend. And then because the weekend was crappy, they're like, next week I'll start. Week goes by, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months. And another client, same Friday, they're like, oh man, I messed up on Friday. And I think Saturday, they didn't get fully back on the saddle. But then Sunday came around and they were like, you know what? I'm gonna see Alec on Monday. I may as well just do what I need to do today. It won't be perfect, but we get started. And that guy, 2 days off track. Other guy, it was like 2 months off track. Who got better results? It's like the guy that was that only got off track once, but it's for 2 months, or the other guy who got off track a couple times throughout the 2 months. And it's like the guy that got off track a couple times because it was always just a day or two that he didn't stick to the plan, but he had more days where he stuck to it. So, oh, mine's so fresh and clear after workout. Oh yeah, that's totally true, Max. You got that. Yeah, I mean, there's times where I'm tired. I'm like, I don't want to work out, but it's like if you work out, you get more energy, and I got to keep reminding myself of that. Yeah, look up Doom 2016 glory kills. Some cool, it's first person, but like just imagine it like in third person. Don't charge much. Since they're beginner, they're lazy. I would say for the beginners, you gotta charge. Like if people want change, they gotta like invest in getting that change. Favored me coming to the gym. A thing you could do is just, I've started doing this. On Monday, I text them a question about how their fitness is doing. You know, it's fitness, exercise related question. Wednesday, send a text in regards to their nutrition. You know, how the meal's going, how's buying food, you know, how's hunger and whatnot. And then on Friday, it's more of like mindset or like outside of the gym questions. You know, how's your sleep going? How are your energy levels? You were saying work was kind of tough. How's it been this week? And you just, every week, you just, you know, repeat that cadence there. And so it doesn't have to be every day. And then second thing, this is a new thing I've been implementing. You gotta get your clients, if they want to work with you, part of the agenda, every day take a photo of what the number shows on the scale. You gotta send it every morning. photo of what the scale shows. And just that alone is gonna have people more conscious of what they're eating and doing. I got back into the habit myself, and yeah, it's just like, I don't care, like, I just need a photo of what's on the scale. And subconsciously, they'll be more attentive to what they're doing. But, oh, I gotta go. I gotta shower. Ooh, up. But I appreciate having you guys here. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. That way you'll be here for the next workout. We got Gym Bros. Should we actively search for that? Search for what? What you searching for? Superman's nephew. Yeah. They call me Gohan. But yeah, make sure to be subscribed. Show that support. How am I doing? I'm doing well. I do even better if you guys hit that subscribe button. And yeah, there's some renovation stuff happening in here. Looks kind of crazy, but I'll see y'all later. Have a great day. Just destroy that subscribe button. And I'll catch you around next time for the next live stream. And go check out the videos on my channel as well. I have a whole playlist on tactics for burning more fat, and don't forget to see Bitcoin. All right. But yeah, I've got a whole playlist on burning fat. If you want to build muscle, I've got a whole playlist on that as well. And if you're looking for some nutrition tips, I got a whole playlist on nutrition. So, you know, check that out as well. Ugh. Until next time, go out, go sweat, drink protein shakes. Peace.